30 years of the best sports talk in Middle Tennessee, featuring Tennessee Radio Hall of Famer George Plaster, Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame coach Watson Brown, and Young Guns Billy Derrick. And now, here's your host, George Plaster.
Hello again, everybody. Welcome in. It is a beautiful Wednesday. It's actually Thursday, now that I think about it, in Nashville, Tennessee. It's the middle of November, and it's 74 degrees outside. What in the world is going on? Kelly Holcomb will join us around 3 o'clock today. Billy, as you know, he has taken some pot shots at my athletic ability.
He sure has.
Yeah, well, he can try to explain this. My team won the Predator bowling event last night. Do you need that a little closer? Yeah, maybe a little closer. Now, was I blessed with some 250-point people that bowled 250s? I was. I want to thank Sandra Spears, who has participated in the Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night as well. They put me on her team, and so they can never take this away. I know you want to know what my scores were.
Yeah, what were your scores?
135 and 120. Respectable. Not awful.
Could be better.
Yeah. We'll find out how Terry McCormick.
The fact that y'all still won, though, says a lot about the rest of your team.
Oh, my God. I had 4 people who were absolute studs. And Philip Tomasino from the Preds was next to me, and we both just sat there going, how do they make this thing spin like this? I bowl straight. And, you know, these people are taking this thing right to left on your radio dial. It looks like your hand would fall off. Anyway, Terry McCormick is now ready. We've done the sufficient stall for him. His update is brought to you by the folks at Lori Burnett Leland. She wants to be your mortgage lady, and through the folks at USA Mortgage, that absolutely can happen. So dial her up at 615-969-4350. So, Terry, I was part of the winning team last night, and this is what we were given as our prize. I want to thank the Preds. I had a great time. Normally, when I'm doing the event, you know, I'm running around making sure everything's going okay. Last night, you know, I got to be a recipient of all of it as a celeb bowler. It was a blast. So I have revealed that my bowling scores were 135 and 120. Where would that stack up when you've bowled in my event? What have your numbers been like?
It'd be comparable. I think I had like 130 something last year, something like that. And then I think maybe 120 in the other game, somewhere in the 120s, 130s. I can't remember. One of the years I might have cracked 140, but I think that was about it. So in that same range.
So enough of the bragging. By the way, it's an easy way to plug that my event is 10 days away. If you'd like to be a part of it, because it will help 2 unbelievable charities, Last Minute Toy Store and the Martha O'Brien Center. Still got some openings. Simply email me, plastergeorge@gmail.com. Terry, if you would get rid of the Yankee hat.
You don't want to see how bad my hair looks underneath it, so it'll have to stay.
So what's going on in Titanland?
Well, they're getting ready to face the Jacksonville Jaguars, one of their bigger rivals, as we know from years past. And it's not a Thursday night game in week 3 anymore. So evidently somebody expected at least one of these two teams to be pretty good this year. And of course, the Jaguars are a decent team. Titans are in the middle of a rebuild. One of the things that the Titans talked to some players about, and Will Levis talked about this yesterday, is the transition of having to be the leader of the offense when you are a rookie and there are all kinds of veterans around you. And most of the guys that I talked to, in fact, all the guys that I talked to about this, and plus offensive coordinator Tim Kelly, they seem to think that this kid has the right approach, that he has the right personality and the right fit for that leadership role that you need out of your quarterback. So that's a good sign too, in addition to the strong arm that he's displayed so far this year, George.
Terry, this is very similar to what Kenny Pickett went through a year ago in Pittsburgh. Best as you can tell, have those two talked at all? Because Pickett's had good moments, he's had tough moments, but oh, by the way, they're 7-3. Nobody knows how. But I wonder if those two have talked.
I don't know. There might have been a brief exchange after the game when they played up there on that Thursday night, but I would say it's probably not a whole lot more than chit chat. I don't know that they know each other well or not, because I don't know that their paths would have crossed very much, except, a Pitt Penn State game, maybe when Levis was there, but Levis wasn't the starting quarterback then. So I know that, obviously Pickett coming out the year before, they would not have crossed paths at the combine, which is where Levis said he was able to, strike up some cordiality with C.J. Stroud and Anthony Richardson and Bryce Young.
Yeah. So tell me what else is going on.
Well, after we got done with our segment yesterday, George, the Titans made a claim on the waiver wire. They picked up a guy named Calvin Throckmorton. He's a guard, and he was previously with the Carolina Panthers. That's not a great pedigree because they're struggling just like the Titans are. But he had been a starter there, but for some reason was cut loose. And so he's probably going to be a depth piece for them in the initial stages of his career here. But he's a guy who can play both guard positions, and so gives them a little bit of depth on an offensive line that desperately needs some.
Terry, real quickly, what are they likely to have next year as far as cap room? Obviously you've got questions about Derrick Henry. I would assume Ryan Tannehill ends up somewhere else. Too bad they don't have the trade deadline now. He ought to be in Cleveland. But what's your gut feeling?
Well, from what the projections that I've seen, they're in really good shape. They're going to have somewhere in the neighborhood of $100 million to spend this offseason. So you certainly can do some rebuilding in certain areas there. I still think as far as left tackle goes, you probably need to spend a high draft pick there. But you may be able to find some speed receivers or another tight end, some centers and guards and things like that in that free agent market. And also you can add some pieces to the defense there. So lots of money for Rand Carthon to work with this offseason. Going to be interesting to see how he spends it.
Yeah, I would assume that fact, him knowing that, had to make this a little more attractive to him to come here, because early on it's a little bit of a dumpster fire, but there is that ray of sunshine to be had here.
Yeah, no doubt about it. If you've got that much cap space coming in 2024, then, it's just a matter of having your pro scouting department do their homework and their due diligence to find out who they think is going to become available, whose contracts are up, who's worth a good investment, because that's where you really get tricky with having a lot of cap space. There are going to be all kinds of guys out there to be had, but you've got to make the right decisions. You've got to get guys who are relatively healthy, guys, you want guys who are probably 25, 26 years old, sign them to a 3-year contract and get some of the best years of their careers. You want guys who've been healthy. You want guys who've been productive. And so that's the areas you got to look at it. Oh, by the way, they need to address some need areas with the guys they sign as well.
You think?
Absolutely.
Terry, we'll do it again tomorrow. Appreciate it as always.
All right. Sounds good, George.
Terry McCormick's Daily Titans Update, brought to you by Lori Burnett Leland. She wants to be your mortgage lady, and through the folks at USA Mortgage, that absolutely can happen. Dial her up at 615-969-4350. Billy, do we have an update?
We do.
We got a big one.
Yeah, big one with a big piece of news. But first tonight, Bengals-Ravens. Good Thursday night game. Bengals need it. But the Ravens at home, I mean, they're almost unbeatable at home over the years, especially with Lamar Jackson under center. So that one is tonight. Baltimore favored.
By the way, I will have a pick on that game.
Okay.
Yes.
So we will we'll stay tuned for that.
Oh, I know you breathlessly await that.
It's always big.
Yeah, sure it is.
So
did I win last night? Yes.
You had Miami, Ohio, correct?
Yes, I did.
They won 23-10 last night.
So we're on a heater.
What is it, 2 now?
2 in a row.
2 in a row now. And then Ohio.
Going after 4 in a row tonight.
Uh-oh.
Got 2 bets.
Don't let them get hot.
2.
But there's no Kelly to basically
Oh, no,
out.
he'll be there. He'll be in with us
at
by
the
then.
end.
Oh, yeah.
As long as he's there for
Yes.
the end. Ohio beat Central
And when
Michigan.
he is, he's going to have to look at this. Yeah. That'll frost his little butt. He won't handle that well, will he?
No, he's gonna have to give you some credit for that. But that's it.
I think I inspired my troops.
That's not Kelly's forte, giving credit.
No, it is. It certainly is not.
Also, the Braves, the city of Atlanta, has been
Yes.
awarded or rewarded. What would you say? Both.
Awarded.
Maybe? Awarded the All-Star Game in 2025, 4 years after moving the game from Truist Park to Denver's Coors Field over objections to changes in Georgia's voting rights laws.
Let me just say right now, I will be there.
Nice. I want to try to find my way down there, too. That's going to be awesome.
I went in
02?
Was it 02 that they hosted?
01,
02. I'll be honest, it was a real disappointment. The home run hitting deal was a lot more fun than the actual game. The game has taken on kind of an exhibition feel where it used to be. I grew up where the National League wanted to beat the hell out of the American League, and there was some real pride, and that's a shame that game has come to that.
Yeah, there's just not the All-Star game. No one cares.
I'll be there.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. And George, I think this is MLB basically admitting their mistake and saying we're gonna make sure they get it either 2025, 2026.
They were going to have to do it soon enough.
It just didn't fit.
This is not a big surprise.
No. So the Rangers are going to host next year's in Arlington, and then the Braves will host in 2025, and then Philadelphia will host in 2026.
The Rangers will host the week that SEC football media days are in Dallas. How about that?
That's going to be a fun week.
Yeah, it might be.
We might have to make our way down there.
Yeah, well, it's called budget.
Yeah. George, and we don't have much of it. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, I'm not kidding. I mean, I think you spoke the truth. I think we have to admit that.
Well, George, there's really not much else. I think that's.
What do you mean? That's it?
That's pretty much
it.
I mean,
your update?
I could get to the Steelers special teams coach tearing his rotator cuff on the sideline.
How did he do that?
On a hit. The one he absorbed on the sideline at the end of the Steelers win over the Packers. It looked pretty painful. I didn't see it. He's 70 years old. He's been in Pittsburgh since 2013. He tore his rotator cuff in 3 places. He's going to need surgery.
Rotator cuff, not that I'm a doctor, but that used to be an absolutely awful thing for a pitcher. If a pitcher got a rotator cuff in the old days, you could pack it in.
Yeah.
Now, not so much so. They've made real strides in that area.
Another one, Browns quarterback Dorian Thompson-Robinson said he's not wide-eyed anymore about the NFL. He said, I know what to expect now. I'm not stepping out there for the first time, not going out there wide-eyed anymore. So big opportunity.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's
big
wonderful.
opportunity. There's just not much out there today, George.
No, I don't know about that. I'm going to have to
What
do
would
some
you have
checking.
What would you have put in your update today?
I don't know. I haven't really looked.
Oh, right. Nice.
But I can tell you this because I see him in the background. One of my favorite people to talk football with is going to join us after the break. Former Georgia Bulldog quarterback David Greene will give us his take on the Vols and the Bulldogs Saturday at Neyland Stadium. That comes up after this break. Please stay with us.
It was the most horrible experience that any mother could ever go through. I knew that I needed to get help. My friend, she immediately said, "You need to call Bart Durham." And you guys were there within an hour. You guys are like family for us.
Yeah, sure is nice to connect with the people that you're doing your best to help.
As the trusted premier custom home builder in Middle Tennessee, Donley Timmons has over 20 years of experience in the industry. Whether you're looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and every remodel is unique, luxurious, and completed on time within budget. Founders Dustin Timmons and Joey Donley have over 25 years of construction experience in the Nashville area. Together, they have completed projects in Forest Hills, Oak Hill, Green Hills, Franklin, and Brentwood. Dustin and Joey believe that communication is the most important aspect of all construction projects. Therefore, they personally manage each project themselves and are involved in job site activities on a daily basis. Their commitment to quality and integrity has earned them an outstanding reputation among their clients. Contact them to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects. Give them a call at 615-456-7983 or log on to DonleyTimmons.com.
I'm Watson Brown.
I'm Kelly Holcomb.
I'm Billy Derrick.
We're the George Plaster Show. We've been Nashville's best sports talk for the last 30 years. And you know what? We still are.
Catch us live weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m. Central Time in Nashville on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Also, the podcast version is available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Looking for more than just awards and trophies? Southern Trophy House is your one-stop solution. For over 60 years, their team has created lasting impressions with a personalized touch. From embroidery to screen-printed apparel to corporate awards, signs, and name badges, they have everything you need to keep your brand shining bright. With their knowledgeable customer service team, you can relax as they create, produce, pack, and ship merchandise and awards on time and on budget. That includes etched crystal awards, custom-cut acrylic, name badges, embroidered Richardson ball caps, banners, screen-printed T-shirts, laser-engraved Yeti cups, and knives. Recognize your hard-working team from Southern Trophy House, where they do their best to help you recognize your best. Located at 2705 Nolensville Pike in Nashville, give them a holler, 615-256-7295. Visit southerntrophy.com. Southern Trophy House, for all your personalization and recognition needs. Okay, we are back. We welcome all of you to the Fordyce Center in Bellevue, our permanent digs that we're very proud of. Excited to say hello to a good buddy and a guy that can really talk some football. Former Georgia quarterback David Greene, sitting by from his palatial mansion down near Atlanta. How you doing?
Plaster, always good talking to you, bud. Doing well.
So, I thought about how am I going to start this interview? So go back to that lunch you and I had that turned out to be a 3-hour deal where they kept looking, going, when the hell are these people leaving?
Right.
And back then, Georgia was not in the lofty world that they're in now. I was asking all the Georgia questions. You wanted to know all the Vandy stuff. And by the end, you realized, hey, George went there. It can't be all that hard. So for a proud Georgia football alum, What has this streak felt like for you?
Well, I'll put it to you this way. So I got to meet Stetson Bennett for the first time this past weekend at the game. So the game against Ole Miss. It was a huge game. And I told Stetson, I said, Stetson, look, we have been so spoiled as a fan base. My son, my third son, is 6 years old, and he literally does not remember Georgia ever losing. Like, he thinks that, if you lose, it's almost like a death sentence. Kind of like it just doesn't happen. And so, man, we have been so blessed, George. And I tell you, last year, it was a couple. Missouri really should have beat us last year, mid-year,
Yep.
and then Ohio State had us beat last year. And it was, how we won that game. Felt like how Alabama had beaten us in years past, and then they found a way to do it, and just blown away that here we are again. The third year in a row where this team's undefeated late in the season and really playing their best ball. And so, I mean, we got to pinch ourselves. We have to understand. Look, anybody that's old enough realizes that things go in cycles. This cycle has lasted a little longer than we thought it would, and we're just glad to be in it. But we're enjoying it as long as we can. It does get expensive traveling to these games and doing it, but you never know when it's going to go away. So you better do it while you got your chance.
You realize that the streak you all are on, I mean, it's possible we may never see it again in our lifetime.
Well, you got a good point, especially with NIL and with people with all this money and all these different programs. It just gets harder and harder, to put together a team and programs like you're talking about where you can build some true dynasties. So I think you're right. And hopefully we can stay on this as long as we can. It's amazing that Kirby's been able to get this team as motivated week in and week out. They don't really overlook opponents. And certainly when we're in games that we think they're going to be really tough, that is definitely when Georgia has played their best.
If you were going to kind of put in a capsule comment, what are the 2 or 3 things that Kirby Smart has done best to get them to here?
Well, I would say recruiting, certainly number one. I think he demanded Georgia from the very top take the program to the next level. I think he's got support from the school that Coach Rick didn't have necessarily. And I think before he even came in and agreed to do it, he said, hey, if we're going to be the elite team that we all want to be, here are the things that you're going to have to do. And then I think just the pure excellence day in and day out that he demands from his coaches, his staff. I mean, even like the equipment guys. I mean, he there's no stone left unturned with him. He sees everything. He's like a machine. And so he's just brought this excellence to the building and demands it day in and day out. And if you got really good athletes that work really hard, good things happen. And that's how he's been able to do it.
So now all of a sudden he's got this Christmas present. Brock Bowers back quicker than anybody could have imagined. Okay, you know this better than anybody. Just his mere presence. What other holes does that open up offensively that that maybe we don't know?
Well, it's a good question. I'll say this. Obviously, so you're going to have 2 guys covering one. So the Ladd McConkeys, the Rosemary Jackson, those guys are going to have more one-on-one matchups than they would have had historically. He's a really good run blocker, and that's the thing a lot of people don't realize. He's one of the more complete players that you'll see, and he gets after it run blocking. And then when you need a play, he's the guy that'll go make it too. I mean, he's shown it time and time again. I mean, and Plaster, I'm not kidding when I say this. I think since he's been at Georgia, I think I've seen him drop one ball in his. I'm not kidding.
Ridiculous.
I think he's dropped one ball in his entire career at Georgia. Just a remarkable. I remember just his true freshman year when he played. There were NFL tight ends that were saying this guy. I mean, he's like first round draft pick ready then, and that was 2 years ago. It's pretty remarkable.
It is pretty remarkable. he'd look good in a Titans uniform, and for that matter, he'd look good in a Falcons uniform. Maybe he can do a Dion, play with Georgia on Saturday, and then go pro on Sunday. He sure looks ready for it. So tell me about Beck, because there seems like a scenario somewhere where a pilot light went on and he went from one level to an extremely better level.
Well, for me, it was Auburn. I mean, there were a lot of question marks. I mean, look, playing quarterback at Georgia, especially right now, is a very tough thing to do. The standards are so high. The expectations are through the roof. Even after Stetson Bennett won a national championship, people were still going, "Hey, let's see what else is out there." And so Beck, there was a lot of everybody was pretty skeptical coming into the season. When we played Auburn, right, and it was a very tough ball game.
Yep.
Down the stretch, fourth quarter, he made every third down throw that you would ask your quarterback to make in tough situations. Auburn's a tough place to play, right? And it's very tough when you're on the road. You got an Auburn team who's dying to break out, right? They've struggled the last week.
We've lost David.
That is a tragedy.
That's tragic.
How do we get him
my
back?
My guess is he got a call.
Okay.
And anytime you get a call,
this happens. Okay, we'll wait for a minute because, number one, he's really good, and number two, he's one of my favorites. Absolutely love dealing with David. So let's just sort of hang tight. Okay, I think we got him back. Tell whoever called you not to ever do that again while we're on here. Let's get our priorities.
You're right. I was sitting here talking away, not knowing if you were hearing me or not.
It was some of your best stuff, wasn't it?
Well, I was getting all excited about Carson Beck. And I guess what I was trying to say is, look, George, he's at Auburn, and the way he played third down, he was phenomenal. And people gained confidence in him. And not only, the player, but, the coach. Look at Mike Bobo. I mean, calling plays, knowing your guy. You got the confidence he's going to make these plays. And right now, I would say Carson Beck is running the offense as efficient as you could ever imagine. The time last week, he needed to, he needed to check it down. He checked down. When he needed to throw deep, he was hitting it downfield. And when he needed to use his legs and run, it worked every time as well. So he's just really seeing the field well. You can tell Bobo's got a good rapport with him in the play calling, and right now it's a lot of fun to watch. Hopefully they can keep it rolling.
Take me to the other side where we have all kind of said, for 2 years they could absolutely crush you, just absolutely break your spirit.
Yeah.
But they've lost so much to the NFL. I mean, the Georgia Bulldogs are the Philadelphia Eagles, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
So what level of good are they on defense? Are they championship level good?
Well, I will say this. I mean, I think they're as good as any defense in the country right now. I don't think they're as dominant as our defense 2 years ago when we had so many All-Americans and we weren't hardly giving up any points a game. I mean, look, teams right now, they can score on us and they can drive, from 20 to 20, teams are having some success on us more than we've seen in years past. But it's kind of a bend, don't break mentality. We've obviously got some really good young talent on this football team as well defensively. Offensively, we're scoring a lot of points. And when you got a really good offense and you got a defense that's certainly strong, and you're not giving up big plays on special teams, you're not turning the football over, which is probably the most important thing, you got a chance to win a lot of games.
So we all have our little theories going into games. I've got one that says, man, if Georgia gets off early, if they can get up 10-0, they can take that crowd out of it. They can crush a team that no longer has quite the swagger that they had a year ago. On the flip side, as you well know, if Tennessee gets up 7-0 and they get that checkerboard going up there, am I on to something that whichever team gets off to the good start, that's how this is going to go?
Well, it could. I mean, playing in Neyland Stadium is a very difficult place to play football to begin with. This is a team that there was a lot of expectations this year. This has been a very, very difficult program. This has been, probably in my opinion, from the East, this is the most threatening program to Georgia in the East. Now, obviously, Tennessee hasn't played the kind of ball they've expected to play this year, but 100% they can beat us. They are talented enough they can beat us if we don't play great football. Having said that, I will say there's a number of teams that have marched right down the field on us this year. I know Florida did it. Ole Miss did it. I think Missouri did as well. They marched right down the field and score. And Kirby, the one thing he's done such a good job of is making adjustments along the way, making adjustments at halftime, where teams that had a lot of success on us against our defense early, later in the game, we're just shutting them down. So, look, Tennessee would love nothing more than to spoil the whatever our record is, how many, we're 26-0 or whatever it may be. They got a lot to play for. I mean, Georgia's coming to town. They would love nothing more to beat us. I will say this, though, Plaster. It's really weird playing Tennessee this late in the year with it already being clinched. I mean, this has got to be – obviously, we always play them early October. Playing them in mid-November when the East has already been decided is a really weird feeling. I think as a fan, it's kind of scary a little bit because, on paper, at least from the East standpoint, it's already been decided. But obviously from Georgia's standpoint, we got bigger visions, right, of trying to, be the top four. But it is kind of a weird feeling going into this game with it already being decided.
Billy, do you know the significance when I say David Greene, Neyland Stadium?
Not vividly, but I think I've seen the highlights.
Okay, so he throws a touchdown pass in the final 7 seconds, whatever it was, and Georgia beats Tennessee, and I think it was something like 26-24. Munson goes off in the booth and yaps about driving a hobnail boot. And the first time I met David Greene, I said, do you even know what the hell a hobnail boot is? He didn't know. I didn't know. So how many times has hobnail boot been brought to your attention this week?
Well, it's hard to believe. It's been, 20-something years. And you still talk about it. But, this week, whenever we play Tennessee, I always get a few people that send me the call and
the clip.
Yeah, the clip. And it really is amazing when he's so excited. I mean, you did that. Yeah, you know how to do this. We crushed their face, and he's just, he's like, we're just destroyed them, and it's like, man, he must have been, you could tell there were like 20 years of frustration built up in old Larry at that call.
And then before he passed away, the last time I had him on the air, and you got to understand, he and my dad were very close friends when he was here, and he would talk to Dad, how's your son? I was never George. I don't think he even knew my name. Young Plaster. And the last time we had him on the show, we've gone through 20 minutes of this stuff. And he breaks out, and out of nowhere, he goes, Young Plaster, if you would have listened to me, you'd have made something of your life. And I'm like, everybody else, Willy's laughing, Darren's laughing. They love it. I'm like, where the hell did that come from?
Well, here's Plaster. You and I know because we've been around Larry, but for the average fan out there, if you could picture Grumpy Old Men, the movie.
Oh, my God.
That was Larry Munson should have played, what's his name? Walter, what I don't remember.
Walter Matthau.
He should have been Walter Matthau because that was him. He didn't even have to act. That was just Larry. Go out there and just talk. He'd have been a perfect fit for that.
And as my career was starting, he would call Dad, and I could hear some of this in the background. I'm not making enough money. What's your son making? And they would trade. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was
Higher today, Plaster. He could say anything back in those days, and
You're right. He could get away with anything,
Yep.
and even all these years later, I mean, down there, he's as legendary as Herschel Walker. He's as legendary as any of you guys. It's amazing.
Well, I mean, people would go to the Georgia games. They would be watching it live with headphones on, just so they can hear them. And that was just the way. And of course, back in those days, say 30, 40 years ago, people were listening on the radio more than they were watching on TV, I think.
Exactly.
So everybody was tuning in to hear Larry, and he was something else, but he was authentic, and I think that was the best way to say it. He was himself, and he just had this great demeanor to him, but he was so pessimistic. I mean, he would have driven me nuts.
How can we win?
I mean, I'm such an optimistic guy by nature. And he goes,
And he's not.
Here we go.
His glass was always totally empty.
We're going to lose. We're going to lose. Yeah.
So I got one last thing before we end this. You used to do what, for me, was kind of appointment watching when you would go visit an SEC campus and sit down and kind of chalk talk with a coach.
Right.
I don't know why that ended, because if I was running it, you'd be doing it. You don't need to. You don't need to go any farther with that. When you did that kind of thing with Saban, what are a couple of things you took out of those sessions?
I would say this, and it actually shocked me. He was as comfortable in that setting as any coach that I interviewed in the SEC. I thought he would be the worst, and he was the best. Meaning, a lot of coaches don't want to say anything on there. They feel like they're giving stuff away. They don't like doing the show because it doesn't fit their schedule. They got to do it once a year, and it's something different, and it feels invasive to them. Nick would go. We would cut from the show and go to break, and he'd go, "Was that good, Greene? Is that what y'all wanted?" No, he would do that, and he's Nick Saban. Whatever he wanted, we'd have just,
right.
Was that good? Did y'all like that? And he would say stuff, and I'd be like, I wasn't even going to go there, Coach, but I appreciate you doing it. He goes, hey, they got to stop it anyway. I'm not saying anything that the other coaches don't already know. He was phenomenal. I thought he was great. And whereas, there were other coaches that you could tell they felt like they were going in to get a root canal. And anytime you can start talking ball with him, he really just lights up anyway.
Well, he's a treasure, isn't he? I mean, he's doing that now with a lot of the, they have those Hey Coach segments where they'll have, a different announcer and he'll go on for 2 or 3 minutes about a DB, guarding a receiver. And it's really good stuff every week. And he opens himself up. And he's probably been doing that more now the last couple of years. I think Mrs. Saban has probably had an impact, but no, you're right, David, that he has opened up and it's been really cool. I've tried to watch those clips whenever I can.
I think Plaster, since I've been alive, I think he's the greatest college football coach that I've seen. The way, as consistent as he is, and even teams that we thought were not going to be very good, he just keeps grinding, and these teams end up becoming something. He's able to get, it appears, year after year, the most out of his kids year in and year out. And
This may be his best coaching job.
It very well could be, because there weren't a whole lot of expectations for this team beginning of this year. And he's finding a way to, I think I've heard him say before, my job as a coach, I got good players, is to get them to be at their best. That's really what coaching is, right? How do I take this guy and maximize his ability? That's the coach's job to figure out, and he's phenomenal at it.
Okay, so I lied. I got one more.
Okay.
What do you think, Kirby? What do you think were the most important things Kirby took from his experience with Saban?
That's a great question. I would say whatever the blueprint is that he learned from Coach Saban, maybe from evaluating talent, how to motivate your team, how to be consistent, the details within coaching, all these different things, the psychological part of the game. I know, Coach Saban's been really big into that, and Kirby seems to as well. And then really being able to demand excellence not only from your team or your staff, but really your university. And I think Kirby demanded that out of Georgia when he came back from the very beginning. I'm not going to come here if we're going to halfway do it. I'm going to come here if you're committed to putting in the resources to be a top tier team.
Wow.
Learned that from Nick, and look, I could be totally wrong. I'm just guessing.
Oh, I think you're dead on.
But I mean, Nick certainly paved the way at Alabama for this, and the neat thing about Kirby, he's been able to take those things, but do it in his own way. He doesn't try to be Nick Saban. He tries to take the great things he learned from Coach Saban and do it his own way, which has been really fun to watch.
Hey, this has been great as always. Something tells me that in January I'll be reaching out again before some title game and saying, Greene, come back.
Well, I would love to, Plaster. It's always good talking to you, buddy.
David, take care.
Yes, sir. You too, man.
That's one of the good ones right there. Former Georgia Bulldog quarterback David Greene joining us on the show. We'll do a little reacting to some of what he put out there after the break. Tennessee and Georgia, 2:30 Saturday, Nashville time. CBS and Channel 5 locally. Stay tuned.
Forget the fact that Sir Speedy Music City is owned by my BGA classmate James Warren. Their work stands on its own merit. James and his staff do incredible work, as evidenced by the huge banners at the Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night. If you're looking for quality to help your marketing and business communications, and you want it at a reasonable price, these are your folks. Call them at 615-832-9511 or go to print at sirspeedymusiccity.com. And be sure to tell them Plaz sent you.
Family owned and operated for more than 2 decades, Alaco Fine Wood Floors is Nashville and Middle Tennessee's choice for premium quality hardwood floors. Since 1995, Jimmy Alaco and his army of employees have embodied the approach of taking pride in one's craft and providing superior customer service, growing from a one-man shop to a team of 23 professionals who share the founder's passion for quality craftsmanship and customer satisfaction. If you are interested in contacting them, you can find their headquarters at 2505 Winford Avenue in Berry Hill, or give them a call at 615-356-0303. Again, that's 615-356-0303, or log on to alacofinewoodfloors.com. Alaco Fine Wood Floors, serving Middle Tennessee's hardwood flooring needs since 1995.
Over the years, more men have started to seek help for hormone deficiencies and imbalances, and Dr. Jeffrey Lodge and wife Daphne, along with their experienced staff, give men the treatment required to improve their quality of life, improve your immune system, energy level, cognitive function, and more. There's no better time to achieve a healthy lifestyle. What are you waiting for? Give Cool Springs MD a call today for an appointment at 615-486-3458 or visit the website coolspringsmd.com.
For over 35 years, Wilson Bank & Trust has been committed to providing customized banking solutions to help individuals, families, and businesses in Tennessee achieve their goals. As your full-service community bank, we are proud to offer loans with competitive rates, local decision-making, and fast, friendly service from our experienced lenders. No matter where you are on your financial journey, Wilson Bank & Trust is ready to help you take the next step. Visit your nearest Wilson Bank & Trust office or online at wilsonbank.com to get started today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Okay, Billy, here is one man's opinion of how Saturday is going to go.
But first,
what?
Per Michigan release, there is no hearing tomorrow. Jim Harbaugh is sitting out Maryland and Ohio State. So they have accepted the 3-game suspension. So like we said earlier, there was supposed to be a hearing tomorrow. No hearing. They've said we'll sit him out the next 2 games.
Why?
The conference agreed to close its investigation, and the university and Coach Harbaugh agreed to accept the 3-game suspension. They decided to accept this sanction to return the focus to their student athletes and their performance on the field. The conference has confirmed that it is not aware of any information suggesting Coach Harbaugh's involvement in the allegations. The university continues to cooperate fully.
Huh.
I wonder if there's...
What does that sound like? That sounds like we're guilty. Let's not go any farther with this.
That's what it feels
That's
like right
what
now.
the talking heads over the next 24 hours are going to suggest, is that he and or the school and or both wanted this to quiet down.
That's what it feels like right now.
Wow.
And this is a little surprising. I mean, I thought they were going to fight back a little bit. I mean, maybe they tried and they were like, no, it's not worth it.
Well, let me say this. If I'm sitting in that seat and I truly knew nothing, you're damn right we'd have the hearing.
Yeah. So
I mean,
it just feels kind of weird.
It feels like we've surrendered and put the white flag up.
Yes.
A little bit.
But that was breaking. That was about 15 minutes ago. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So here is one person's theory. At 2:28 on Saturday, about 2 minutes before CBS goes on the air, Neyland Stadium will be a huge positive for the Tennessee football team. Huge positive. Now, I got to ask this. Are they doing the checkerboard?
No, they're not.
Okay.
I put the pictures up.
Just put it up there.
Yeah.
Okay. Huge positive at 2:28. When they kick off at 2:35 or whenever they kick off, huge positive. If Georgia jumps out early,
10-0, 14-0.
There is a level of negativity right now up in that area about this Tennessee football team. And here's what I believe it is. Now, this sounds like something out of President Kennedy, but last year for Tennessee football was Camelot. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, the scene after the Alabama win, it's the best scene you could see in the country last year.
Yep.
The fireworks going off, you've got pictures of it there somewhere. It was unbelievable. They had massive offensive talent. Hendon Hooker was a surgeon. It was the best of times until they kicked off against South Carolina, and then it kind of crashed a little bit.
Cratered.
Okay, so fast forward to this year, and everybody wanted Camelot to continue up there. But there were some problems with Camelot, starting with no Cooper Mays for a while. Also, all that wide receiver talent that made it look ridiculously easy suddenly had gone to the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, the third piece of it was a quarterback who, yes, he's apparently a great human being, but he can't make about 60% of the throws that you need made to be at the elite level of quarterbacking.
Yeah.
Anything that requires touch, he appears to be incapable of making. Can he throw a ball, from here over to that shopping mall? Sure he can. Can he put touch on a ball? I've never seen it. And let me say this. I blame him for some of this because he's known for years that this is not a strength, that this is a huge weakness of his. And I don't believe he's gotten any better at it.
No, he really hasn't. I think he is, George, he is who he is.
Yeah, but I mean, come on. That's not something you can get better at?
I think, no, it is. But I think if you're an inconsistent quarterback like him, you just kind of are. It's like the Marcus Mariota conversation.
It may be.
But I'm with you in the fact that he really hasn't. I mean, marginally. Like, there's throws that he makes, and I'm like, 60, almost 70-yard bombs from him down the field.
He can throw it. I mean, he threw it at the Manning Passing Academy. Peyton asked him to throw it as far as he could, and it was like an 80-yard just howitzer.
Yeah. So you see that, and you're like, where is that consistently? He's just not consistent enough.
Well, first of all, they have dumbed down their offense.
Yeah.
Now, Kelly looks like he may be about to join us, and maybe we'll just bring him in here. Kelly, we're talking about Tennessee. I think Heupel has dumbed it down to this. He's got what looks like maybe one or two running plays, one of which is this obvious right up the middle. On the throwing the ball front, it's catch, wide receiver screen. That's one of their plays. Second one is a sideline about 12, 14 yards down the field. The third one, which requires just simply a line drive bullet, is the slant pattern. That's basically, to me, what they've dumbed it down to.
You can win a lot of games with that, though, sometimes, George. You know what I'm saying?
You're right about that.
I don't. I don't know what they've got. You may be right. They've dumbed it down. I don't know. But when I was in Indianapolis in the NFL with Peyton and Howard Mudd was our O-line coach, we had 3 run plays. We had inside zone, outside zone, and a sprint draw. That was it. That's all he worked on. 3 run plays. We didn't have gap schemes or anything because he didn't believe in that stuff. And Edgerrin James is in the Hall of Fame because of it. I can remember there would be games where, Edgerrin wasn't doing anything the first 3 quarters, and then the fourth quarter, the dude gets over 100 yards. So I think that's what Tennessee does better. I mean, they've got 3 really good running backs. It's probably kind of different than Josh Heupel's had, but I heard Billy talk about it, and y'all are right. I mean, there's no consistency with Joe Milton. Like, I'm sure he holds his breath sometimes because when he throws the ball down the field, he is just not very accurate. He can throw a curl route. He can throw an out route. He can throw slant routes. But when he's got to hold on to the ball and kind of throw that ball down the field, man, you have no clue where it's going. I don't think he does either.
And there's no touch either. I think occasionally he'll drop a nice one, but I mean,
it's all line drive.
I'd love to get a radar on his throws. And
well,
just say,
that's
hey,
what
Joe.
Will Levis has got to work on that too.
Yes.
Now, Will Levis, when he drops his elbow, and I was hoping the other day that we could find that clip, but you couldn't find that clip. But when he threw the tight end screen to the Wiley kid, he looked to the left, he looked to the right, and then he came back over the top. If he gets that ball to the Wiley kid and the guy doesn't have to jump for it, he can catch the ball and turn around and make a move on that safety. But when you have to jump on it and you have to try to catch the ball up in the air because his elbow's down, he's trying to throw it over people. I mean, it's everything in the NFL is timing. In college, in big time college football now, it's timing. And that split second that he has to jump and catch the ball and concentrate on that and then turn around, he could have scored if he would have had a better ball.
Kelly, you know this. Receivers, they want a soft ball, right? I mean,
absolutely.
More times than not, you're throwing it soft. I mean, yes, you gotta get it in there sometimes, but I mean, would you agree most throws from the quarterback position are softer, right? Whether
I
it's
had a softball. Guys like catching my ball. The only problem with that is the DBs like catching it too.
That's true.
So
As
that
opposed to the
happens.
buzz bomb.
Yeah, the one that Brett Favre used to throw like rockets. I mean, there was a game, and I think he had 6 turnovers. I think he had 6 interceptions in the game against the St. Louis Rams when the Rams were kind of coming along and they played him in the playoffs. But watching that film, man, he could have thrown 10 or 11 interceptions, but he throws the ball too dead-gum hard, man. They can't catch it.
And Josh Allen early in the game Monday night had that happen where a couple of receivers couldn't handle it. I know we got to go to the break. Kelly, we're going to get the stat of the day, which we'll never get.
It's an NFL one, though.
Based on the level of what we've been dealing with recently, we got no chance. Then we have underdog picks. And all I can tell you is this, Kelly, there will be a moment near the beginning of the underdog picks that you're not going to like.
Oh.
That's all
Really?
I'm going to tell you. You're not going to like it. Please stick around. Plenty more fun coming.
Convenience and value, 2 words that we expect when we do business. Our goal at JHA Company is to deliver just that, both to our school partners and to our customers. Whether you're purchasing photos, yearbooks, class jewelry, letter jackets, school spirit wear, or senior graduation products, we strive to make the experience easy, convenient, and cost-effective. Find out more at jhacompany.com or call 615-867-6345 for more information. JHA, one source, one company.
You were in a crash.
Yeah.
Your kids were in the car with you.
We're very lucky to even be telling this story to you. Nikki treated us like family, and she was very caring and loving, and I'm just so grateful for that. She was somebody I could trust, and being a veteran, that's so important to me. My kids are going to have a better life now because I don't have to worry about those expenses that we were out. Your family has really created a legacy of trust, and I would recommend you to anyone.
Star Physical Therapy was established in 1997 with one great mission: to serve. If you're hurting, don't wait to receive physical therapy. You don't need a referral to see their physical therapist, and early morning and evening appointments are available. Make the call to 615-673-1420 and get rid of that pain. Star Physical Therapy, the official health provider of Football Friday.
All right, I'm here with my buddy Chip Ward from Lincoln Home Loans. And Chip, it's football season, and it's also, it feels like it's moving season every time of the year, especially here in Nashville. Tell us about your business, Chip, and kind of introduce people to who you are and what you do here in the Nashville area.
Well, you're exactly right, Billy. It is definitely moving season, as it is most times, especially right here after Labor Day. Kids are back in school, and people are starting to think they want to get settled in before the holidays. And so what we are doing is right now we are getting a lot of people pre-approved for home loans. Inventory has ticked up a little bit. You know, it has been down, but it's rebounding a little bit. And right now is a good time to buy.
Chip, real quick before I let you go, tell people how they can reach you. And if someone is interested in your business, how would they reach out to you?
Well, sure. At Lincoln Home Loans, you can reach me at 615-500-7579. My URL for my application page is chipward.net, and my email address is simply chip@chipward.net. And so I'd love to hear from anybody. I can answer any questions about the whole home buying and financing process.
Top of the hour on a Thursday. Underdog picks with Greg Pogue and Willy Daunic coming up. Of course, Kelly Holcomb as well. George Plaster. Tough weekend. So we will get to that. But stat of the day brought to you by John English Antique Sports.
I think Kelly has told you that there's not to be any commentary on your end.
So robotic. Just
very much so.
Got it. They're open during the week, Tuesday through Friday from noon to 5 and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 5. Give them a call, 931-492-4304. Let's see what we got. I think we're going NFL today. So, Kelly, you can't really say toss this one over
I
to
can't.
George.
I'm just relax.
Joe Burrow.
Relax, Francis. Okay.
Joe Burrow is currently third in Bengals franchise history for most passing yards in a player's first 4 seasons. Behind what 2 players?
Okay. One of them, Kelly, has got to be, I would think, Boomer
and Ken Anderson.
Ken Anderson. Those have got to be the 2. Okay, I see Pogue shaking his head. Let's bring Pogue up. Gregor, you're agreeing with that?
Yeah, I thought Ken Addo. Yeah, I'm agreeing. I don't know if it's right, but Ken Anderson was the first thing that came to my mind.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. So you're not tossing any others out there. Let's see if Willy's with us on this as well. Willy, any other name that should be brought into it?
Those were the first 2 names that popped into my head. So if I'm going down, I'm going down with my generation. This is scary. We're unanimous.
Like Carson Palmer could be in the mix, but I don't know about him.
Carson Palmer.
Hadn't thought about that.
That's a good one.
Okay, let's see what it is.
Carson Palmer.
Oh, my God.
Boom, Kelly.
Wow.
Oh.
They just throw the ball a lot more. They throw the ball
different time. Yeah, different times.
Yeah. Here's the problem. We're 0 for November.
Dang.
0 for November.
Very humbling.
It is humbling. Willy, here's what's not humbling. As you know, Greeks have not been considered great athletes. Right now, I'm still in the top 5. It's Giannis, then Giannis's brother, Nick Markakis, the kid at Vandy, the Greek kid, is number 4.
Tassos.
Say that again.
His first name is Tassos.
Okay. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
And
I haven't practiced his last name well enough yet.
I am still in 5th place, and I think solidified that last night by winning this.
Yeah. Very nice.
Oh, yeah. So, Kelly, I was part of the winning team in the Predators bowling deal.
Okay. What does that mean? I mean, that was a team effort. It was a team effort.
That I was surrounded by 4 people that all bowled well over 200. One of them got 278. My scores were 135 and 120. Willy, you did not make triple digits in your first game, did you?
No, I feel like I've got to do some improvement before. I need a practice session before your bowling tournament. I played very well at yours last year.
Mm-hmm.
I got on a nice roll, and I just was awful last night. Just terrible. I felt bad for my team.
So
maybe
Willy,
it was a hockey thing, and I wanted to honor Wayne Gretzky. I got 99 in the first game, and then I went Connor McDavid in the second game, 97. That's brutal. You get under
so
100.
Willy, you're actually going to go practice. Willy, you're actually going to go practice.
I feel like I need to, or something like that. There's a lot of pride when George does his thing. You know, you want to have your A game.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, really? There's a lot of pride in that. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm seeing it differently.
Is this Thursday? I think I missed. I'm on the wrong day. I thought this was the Underdog segment. Sorry.
Well,
I must have got. I must got the wrong day.
It will be eventually. What ailment are you using, Pogue, to bow out of your invitation?
Gout.
Gout. A bout with gout.
Yes, I cannot get a bout with gout.
Willy, by the way, a little weak on the lighting today.
I know.
He's home.
That's better because up until then, well, again,
all directions here. It's just not working.
Honestly, you look like a hostage. Okay,
let's proceed. Please help.
Too soon.
It really does look like a hostage, and it looks like that they're rationing his food as well.
Okay, Billy. as commissioner, do whatever the hell it is you do.
All right, let's review last weekend. We start with Greg Pogue. Tough loss. Colorado loses to Arizona 34-31. Pogue almost had it.
Yeah, and I'm sure Kelly was pulling for anybody but Colorado.
I was. Absolutely. Serves you right.
George.
I would have picked that they would have won.
BYU loses 45-13.
Kalani Sitake, what a bonehead. I mean, really?
You were
at
excited.
home to Iowa State? And this is not exactly Georgia they were playing.
Awful.
What the hell? Lose by less than 30.
And then Willy, tough one again. Indiana loses 48-45 in OT. Willy, I saw the end of that one. They very well could have won that one.
Well, they made a great comeback. It looked like it was over. I actually flipped it on because Vanderbilt smoked so bad, and I was looking for something to watch, and I realized Indiana had a shot. They get a touchdown and score the 2 in the final seconds to get it to overtime. They had all the momentum. They got the ball first in overtime and had to settle for the field goal. And then Illinois scored. So, as Kelly likes to say, we got to move on. That was close. I thought they had a shot.
Willie, I would like to know, in a game where Vanderbilt lost 47-6, exactly how long did you allow yourself to watch that?
Well, I was at the morning skate for the Predators, who played that night. That didn't go well either, by the way. They blew 2-goal leads twice. But I was getting ready for the game at the arena, and I figured, okay, I'll come home from morning skate. I'll flip the game on. And so it was 13-0 at the half, and that's when I kind of settled in. And then I saw the ceiling fall in, and I flipped it off.
On that topic,
the block punt was the breaking point for me. The block punt in the rain, where they on the SEC network, by the way, they seem to be having a great time showing the announcers in there just going wild every time South Carolina was having a good like we really wanted to see that. The announcers' reaction.
It's called filler.
They had to find something.
I guess.
Right.
I guess it was fun if you're a South Carolina fan.
On that topic, Willie, Greg, and George, and Kelly, maybe you can answer this too. Have you ever seen a year where the Titans, Preds, and Vandy are struggling as much as they are right now? All together at the same time, same season.
I would say there's been a lot of times where when the Predators have been really good, the Titans have been really bad, and vice versa. The beginning years of the Titans were when the Predators were in the first 5 years of expansion, where they didn't really have the makings of a good team yet. It took a while. The rules were different back then for expansion teams. So I can't think of one where all three have been in the dumper like this. But it's still early for the Predators. I feel like they're going to do better. But yeah, it hasn't been great. That was a rough weekend. Throw Tennessee in there. Holy cow!
Shoot, yeah.
Black Saturday.
Yeah. Black Saturday. Kelly, TCU, tight one, but they lose 29-26. Battled back, thought they were going to pull it out there late, but Texas found a way.
Yeah, they thought wrong. So let's just they lost. Let's move on.
Let's move on.
Well, no, we're going to have a little comment. Steve Sarkisian went just
brain dead.
Oh, I mean, talk about taking the pedal off the metal. He had them dead and buried and damn near lost.
And they go, all right, we need Quinn Ewers back.
Yeah, but the problem was he was back. He played in that game.
He was back.
Shoot, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah.
Billy, you're starting to make really big mistakes here, big dog. We're going to have to get you to keep up with the times.
Well, let's get a win in your column first, Kelly.
Hey, somebody that doesn't play needs to sit over there and keep quiet. That's what needs to happen.
And so this segment of the grumpy old man continues. So is this where you throw up the standings and show that I'm in last place?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, whatever.
No movement whatsoever.
No, it was a big ofer. The big
ofer.
donut.
Big donut.
However, it's not going to turn out that way. Not this week.
It better not.
Oh, no. A lot of good stuff. Okay, with that in mind, we will go to the break, and then we will reveal, and I know all of you breathlessly await this, what is the order? I think the players should know that.
The order, leading off, Kelly Holcomb. Batting second, Greg Pogue.
Pogue.
Batting third, George Placer. And batting fourth, Willy Daunic. Gentlemen, good luck.
And we'll go to the break, and we'll be back.
It was the most horrible experience that any mother could ever go through. I knew that I needed to get help. My friend, she immediately said, "You need to call Bart Durham." And you guys were there within an hour. You guys were like family for us.
Yeah, sure is nice to connect with the people that you're doing your best to help.
As the trusted premier custom home builder in Middle Tennessee, Daunic Timmons has over 20 years of experience in the industry. Whether you're looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and every remodel is unique, luxurious, and completed on time within budget. Founders Dustin Timmons and Joey Daunic have over 25 years of construction experience in the Nashville area. Together, they have completed projects in Forest Hills, Oak Hill, Green Hills, Franklin, and Brentwood. Dustin and Joey believe that communication is the most important aspect of all construction projects. Therefore, they personally manage each project themselves and are involved in job site activities on a daily basis. Their commitment to quality and integrity has earned them an outstanding reputation among their clients. Contact them to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects. Give them a call at 615-456-7983 or log on to DauniCtimmons.com.
On Monday, November the 27th, I'll be playing host to the third annual Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night here at the Strike and Spare on Lebanon Pike. Here's where I need your help. We have 64 foursomes that will play with 64 sports celebrities. We've done a good job in getting the foursomes, and now I need some of you as single players to sign up and get involved. The cost is $200. The proceeds will benefit the Last Minute Toy Store and the Martha O'Brien Center. And what I promise you that night is great bowling, maybe not, great food, a ton of fun, and in fact, I'll make this claim, more fun than any charity sports event you have ever been involved in. To get involved, simply email me, plastergeorge@gmail.com. Let me know whether you want to be in the 6 to 8 p.m. shift or the 8 to 10, and get ready for a night of bowling and fun you'll never forget. Looking for more than just awards and trophies? Southern Trophy House is your one-stop solution. For over 60 years, their team has created lasting impressions with a personalized touch. From embroidery to screen-printed apparel to corporate awards, signs, and name badges, they have everything you need to keep your brand shining bright. With their knowledgeable customer service team, you can relax as they create, produce, pack, and ship merchandise and awards on time and on budget. That includes etched crystal awards, custom-cut acrylic name badges, embroidered Richardson ball caps, banners, screen-printed T-shirts, laser-engraved Yeti cups, and knives. Recognize your hard-working team from Southern Trophy House, where they do their best to help you recognize your best. Located at 2705 Nolensville Pike in Nashville, give them a holler, 615-256-7295. Visit southerntrophy.com. Southern Trophy House, for all your personalization and recognition needs. The George Plaster Show is Nashville's best sports talk, 2 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. There's a podcast version available on Spotify and Apple Podcast.
If we're being honest, this is not a moment any of you have breathlessly awaited. But the four of us are about to give you some good underdog winners that are going to win outright. We turn it over to Commissioner Billy Derrick.
Leading off, the pride of Lincoln County, Kelly Holcomb.
Laid in the shade, chewing on a hickory twig. Pass that bottle, I'll have me a swig.
What you got, Kelly?
Willie, I want to know first, who did you pick for me today?
You got your number one choice, Kelly. You got your number one choice. And I'm glad for the integrity of this contest that you're picking before me, because I didn't want there to be any question, because Kelly did have to show me his cards in the other competition. So that would have been important information for this. But Kelly's picking first, so it's a moot point. So you got North Carolina.
It is a moot point, so I guess I'm going to go with the Tar Heels again to beat the Clemson Tigers.
Okay. So UNC to beat Clemson. Let's see what that number is. 7. So Kelly getting 7 as the Tar Heels, Mac Brown's Tar Heels, go on the road. Okay. So +7. All right.
Yeah, wait. Last week I was called a communist on this here radio show.
You were.
For picking who Kelly wanted. So that makes you a double spy communist, because I wanted North Carolina. So
sorry, Pogue.
Double back to you.
Turnabout's fair play, homie.
I'll see you behind the Berlin Wall when it's resurrected.
Calling him a communist is really unacceptable.
Are you talking to me,
George?
Oh no, I'm talking to Kelly.
Well, you just sit over there and just do whatever it is you do. Okay, nobody cares, George. What you think? Okay.
Okay. Well, that's fine. So we're even.
Yes.
Moving on.
Peace.
To Greg Pogue.
Nashville cats play clean as country water. Nashville cats play wild as Mountain Dew. Nashville cats.
Big schedule release coming, Pogue, right?
In Times Square this afternoon, the entire league schedule was released. Ours was as well. And so, yeah, you can go and see our 10-game schedule, 5 at Municipal Auditorium, 1 at F&M Bank. One of those is a trip to Billings, Montana.
Nice.
Oh,
yeah. In June.
Pogue, I made 3 errors in one game against the Billings Mustangs as a member of the Medicine Hat Blue Jays. That got me one step closer to my radio career.
Well, I was going to see that helped launch your radio career. Yep, so that's good.
Which involves a very late night.
That's tough to do. That might be a league record in Billings.
Was that game attended by a lot of people?
Oh yeah, Billings. Honestly, George, Billings has awesome fans. They pack that place every night. I'm not joking. So I think that could be a fun.
Oh yeah, the venue. They're already anticipating selling out every game there. It's the only game in town.
Yeah, there's not much to do in Billings, George.
Oh, I believe that.
Yeah.
They wash their yaks.
Yeah.
Good line.
Yeah. You know what? I'm just stupid enough. I'm going to take the Tennessee Vols plus 10.5. I need to get back in this thing. I think this game, if they lose it, they've already lost one game because of it. They were totally looking ahead when they showed up in Missouri. And Missouri had an RBF factor the red booty was high. So anyway, I like. I don't know why. I'm just going to go with a home underdog with a big upset. Really, this is their game of the year because obviously they're out of the anything more. So there you go. And I still think Georgia can lose this game, beat Alabama in the championship game, and go to the Final Four.
Okay, so Pogue riding with the Vols at home against Georgia.
So, Pogue, I guess this is your game of the year.
No, my game of the year is Tennessee Tech, TSU at Nissan Stadium, Saturday afternoon at 2, pregame at 1:30.
But, I mean, if you win this, if you were to win this game,
yes,
you move right up the ladder.
That's what I'm thinking,
Yep.
Hey, there's, if it's not first, it's not worth it, right? I mean,
well, yeah.
I don't want to be down. I don't want to be down there at the bottom with. I don't want to be down on the bottom with you.
Wow. Okay.
Up next, George Plaster.
Yeah. I'm a champion. Don't you forget it. Which is more this year than we can say for that music. I will say this, Billy. When the Florida State people do that chant, it is pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, Pogue, this is a book it.
How have you done on those this year?
I haven't won one of them.
No.
So, this book it is the Kansas Jayhawks at home against Kansas State. Kansas State has been rubbing their nose in it for years. And finally, Kansas is at a point where they can stand up, look K-State toe-to-toe at home, and say, we're tired of your crap. The Berlin Wall's coming down tonight, and Old Plaza is going to be happy.
Tonight?
Thank you. Well, whenever.
Saturday night.
Yeah.
So 6 o'clock night game.
What's that spread?
8 points. So Kansas getting 8 there.
I know where you were going with that. That is so tasteless.
So Jayhawks +8 at home against K-State. Lastly here, Willy Daunic.
Meet the Mets, meet the Mets. Step right up and greet the Mets. Bring your kiddies, bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life.
The Mets are really sucking that ball, George. They have a manager now. They have a manager. They got him from
Right.
the Yankees.
How do you feel about that?
Well.
How do you feel about that?
I'm not so good. That guy's going to get roasted if you don't do well.
Who would you have liked to have seen?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what went on behind the scenes with Counsell. But honestly, I would have kept Buck for another year. But I think we're all a little biased on that one. But
yeah,
I didn't think he did anything to deserve to get fired, to be 100% truthful. But I think the new guy that they got, Stearns from Milwaukee, apparently he and Buck don't see eye to eye. But anyway, my pick is the UCLA Bruins. I'm going to go with them against their arch rival in the LA Coliseum, University of California, Los Angeles. Rivalry game. UCLA on a good day can be a decent team, although they did fail me earlier in the season when I took them against Utah. But rivalry game, I think anything can happen. I'll take it. USC can have days where they play no defense.
Really?
None.
Have days or have a year? Have a whole year.
So that's why they fired the defensive coordinator?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm counting on it.
Well, according to a report, UCLA is very likely to fire Chip Kelly after this game.
Are you serious?
According to a report.
Yep.
Really?
So, I don't know if they've already decided if it's an A&M type thing, whether they win or lose.
They got beat by Arizona State, and these days that's bad.
Fireball.
And they got
That is
beat
bad.
at home, which made it doubly bad. Really?
Yep.
Chip Kelly. Wow.
So
He
Willy
gone.
Ryan with UCLA +6.5 at USC. Are we ready to review?
I don't know. Are we?
What else would there be, Billy?
I don't know. I
mean,
are
you
you
trying
guys
to
ready?
hold court?
Kelly leads us off, taking North Carolina +7 at Clemson, 2:30 on ESPN. Greg Pogue taking Tennessee +10.5 at home against Georgia, 2:30 CBS. George riding with Kansas +8 at K-State, Saturday night, FS1. And then Willy riding with UCLA +6.5 at USC, 2:30 ABC. Gentlemen, good luck this weekend. Can somebody please get a win?
Why did Pogue leave?
Come on, this happens
He's
every
done
week.
with it.
He's probably fed up.
Pogue, why are you leaving?
Oh, now we can't hear him.
Can't hear you. No comprende.
Can't take him anywhere.
Willie, is that attitude acceptable?
Well, I think we've all heard of the Irish exit, and I think Pogue was just trying to do that, to slip out before everybody else does.
Well, he's probably got some season tickets to sell.
Probably.
Yes.
Yeah. Willie, thank you so much for your participation.
Yep, I'm going to call Pogue when we're done now and just ask if I can, go to Billings for the game and be commemorated with the Billings Mustangs for making 3 errors in 1 game. It could still be a Pioneer League record. That could be a great double thing.
Look at Pogue.
Yeah.
He has risen from the dead.
Hey, you can come do the play-by-play.
What's the date? What's the date?
Late June. I'll get it to you. They just came out a little while ago, and there were some adjustments. I really hadn't had a chance to study it.
Okay.
I know we're playing Georgia, Force twice, Chicago, and so some good rivalry games.
Nice.
Where will the Georgia Force play?
They are playing in I think they're playing in Fox Theater.
Thanks, Pogue. Thanks for all the info. Way to spread the word of the league.
So not Mercedes-Benz.
No, I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
There goes Pogue.
Yeah, I think he's done this time. Willie, thank you as always. We'll be back in touch with programming, for next week, given that it's a holiday week.
It is, yes.
Yeah. Take care.
See ya.
Kelly.
George.
We're after the break. We're going to review Plaster Bets of the Day. We are now on a heater.
If you won a couple of games, I don't even remember what you got. 2.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, 2 in a row. Oh, so you're on a streak.
And by the end of the night, I believe we'll be at 4 in a row.
Oh, you got 2 tonight, huh? You're going with 2.
2 tonight. Oh, yeah. Got an NFL one.
Okay.
Got an NFL one and a college one. So stay tuned.
I don't even know who plays tonight. Who plays tonight, George?
Cincinnati
NFL.
at Baltimore.
Oh, that's right.
Way to keep up, Kelly.
Hey, relax, Francis. I came out and said that I didn't know. I mean, you're acting like you do know when you really don't.
Wow. Serious accusation. The college game tonight is Boston College at Pitt.
Yeah, it's going to be big.
Excitement lives here.
Absolutely. Oh, no question. Be a big crowd in Pittsburgh. Stay tuned. We'll have the numbers that'll make you some moolah. And the reason is simple. I'm a champion. Stay tuned.
Family owned and operated for more than 2 decades, Alaco Fine Wood Floors is Nashville and Middle Tennessee's choice for premium quality hardwood floors. Since 1995, Jimmy Alaco and his army of employees have embodied the approach of taking pride in one's craft and providing superior customer service, growing from a one-man shop to a team of 23 professionals who share the founder's passion for quality craftsmanship and customer satisfaction. If you are interested in contacting them, you can find their headquarters at 2505 Winford Avenue in Berry Hill, or give them a call at 615-356-0303. Again, that's 615-356-0303, or log on to alacofinewoodfloors.com. Alaco Fine Wood Floors, serving Middle Tennessee's hardwood flooring needs since 1995.
You were in a crash.
Yeah.
Your kids were in the car with you.
We're very lucky to even be telling this story to you. Nikki treated us like family, and she was very caring and loving, and I'm just so grateful for that. She was somebody I could trust, and being a veteran, that's so important to me. My kids are going to have a better life now because I don't have to worry about those expenses that we were out. Your family has really created a legacy of trust, and I would recommend you to anyone.
Over the years, more men have started to seek help for hormone deficiencies and imbalances, and Dr. Jeffrey Lodge and wife Daphne, along with their experienced staff, give men the treatment required to improve their quality of life, improve your immune system, energy level, cognitive function, and more. There's no better time to achieve a healthy lifestyle. What are you waiting for? Give Cool Springs MD a call today for an appointment at 615-486-3458 or visit the website coolspringsmd.com. Star Physical Therapy was established in 1997 with one great mission: to serve. If you're hurting, don't wait to receive physical therapy. You don't need a referral to see their physical therapist, and early morning and evening appointments are available. Make the call to 615-673-1420 and get rid of that pain. Star Physical Therapy, the official health provider of Football Friday.
Convenience and value, two words that we expect when we do business. Our goal at JHA Company is to deliver just that, both to our school partners and to our customers. Whether you're purchasing photos, yearbooks, class jewelry, letter jackets, school spirit wear, or senior graduation products, we strive to make the experience easy, convenient, and cost-effective. Find out more at jhacompany.com or call 615-867-6345 for more information. JHA, one source, one company.
Final segment on a Thursday, Bengals Ravens tonight, as well as Boston College and Pitt. So not the best college game, but decent NFL game. We'll see where George is going. It's time for Plaster's Bet of the Day, brought to you by Bart Durham Injury Law. Give them a call, 615-242-9000, or log on to bartdurham.com. All right, let's review what happened last night, and George is calling it a heater, Kelly.
Wow.
A lot of reaction.
Yeah. So Miami of Ohio ended up winning that game?
Yep. They beat
Obviously.
Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo, yeah.
Let's go Buffalo.
The Buffalo Bulls, baby. There's not much excitement there.
No, there
when
isn't.
When you were there, Kelly, playing for the pro team, did they care much about the Buffalo Bulls up there?
Never heard about them. I didn't even know. I had to go over to their campus one day and didn't even know how to get there.
Wow.
I think I've heard that before.
Did you speak to the team?
I did not speak to the team. My strength coach from the Browns took a job there, and then now he's with the Cardinals. But he took a job up there because his wife was from there. So
yeah,
I had to go over there and see him. But yeah, there wasn't much going on the campus of Buffalo University.
So Kelly, let's get to the important issues of the night. Excuse me. Let's start in the NFL. Don't put anything up there yet. This is a battle. This Cincinnati at Baltimore thing, this is AFC North, which may well be the best division in football right now. They all have winning records. There is a shot they could all go to the playoffs.
Nah.
This is do or die tonight for the Bengals. They lose tonight, they're not going to the playoffs. I don't know how this is going to turn out. But I'm pretty certain of one thing. Joe Burrow will kick butt. He will be really good tonight. And the Bengals, they may not win the game, but they will cover the 3.5 in Baltimore.
Okay.
Bengals plus the points, coming off an absolute stink bomb at home against the Texans.
No T. Higgins tonight. It's gonna be a lot of Jamar Chase.
They got some injury problems, but Joe Burrow will be at his best.
Joe Cool.
He is. Game 2. Oh, excuse me. Game 2. Pittsburgh's at home. They need a win. BC is awful. Pitt's not much better. Pitt -3, but only if you must.
You realize you're betting on Pitt.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll pack the house, George?
No, I think you'll see a lot of yellow. That stadium,
It is
where
yellow.
where the Steelers play, it's all yellow, so you can really tell when the seats are empty. Tonight, it'll be empty.
It's gonna be one of those cold nights. You see a lot of yellow open seats.
Yes. And that's that, Kelly.
So, Billy, you just think this is a decent NFL game, or is this a really good NFL game?
So this is a terrific
I think it's
NFL
a good one.
game.
I said decent. I slipped up there. It's a good one.
Yeah, you did. I mean, what's decent about it? I mean, that's a really good NFL game. Like, what else are you asking for?
Well, you didn't even know who was playing tonight first, so I don't.
It doesn't matter though. Once you say it's decent, I don't care. I didn't. Doesn't matter about that. You said that when we found out the Bengals and the Ravens are playing, you said it was a decent game. So what's decent about it?
Just move on. Can we just move on?
Well, what seems to have happened here,
Is that I've
Billy,
taken on
is a
some water.
recurring theme. You've taken on some water with Kelly, and you've got one of two choices. You can either fight back and really be the aggressor on him, or you can just, shrivel up and
We're going to need a bigger boat.
Or you can just hoe up as normal like you normally do.
Wow. What a pleasant beginning to the holiday season.
Kelly, I'll be missing you on the show tomorrow.
I bet you will. Did you miss me earlier? How did David
did.
Greene go? Was it a good interview?
David was great. He always is good.
Classic.
What do you think about the game?
I think,
He said it kind of scares him a little bit.
Kelly, I've come to the theory that this is a game where Kirby Smart needs to be telling his guys, man, we need to jump out 10-0. If we jump out 10-0, the crowd's negativity will start to take over. This is sort of a weird vibe that's coming out of Knoxville. They're not thrilled about what went on a week ago. Now, on the other hand, if they get up 7-0 early, Tennessee, that place will be a huge positive.
Yep.
Down 10-0 might be a negative.
I agree. I totally agree. You know how fans can be. And if Georgia goes in and handles business, they're the better team. But, I mean, that's a tough place to play, George. You know that. I mean, there's a lot of all those Vols fans up there. There's a bunch of them in there, and they do not like the Bulldogs. So it'll be interesting to see.
Oh, it'll definitely be worth watching. 2:30 CBS and Channel 5 locally. Tomorrow, our show will originate from CPA, Christ Presbyterian Academy, where they will take on FRA, Franklin Road Academy, in a rematch, help me, of a game won by whom earlier?
CPA won it.
But it was really close, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good game. Two good teams. We'll see. It's a huge win for FRA. For CPA, it's kind of normal. They usually make it to state, but if FRA pulls it off, that'd be massive.
First hour.
Is BGA still in it, George?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
What about Father Ryan, Billy?
No, they lost first round.
Oh, they did?
Yep.
Yeah, my high school can't beat eggs, so we're no longer in the playoffs. We no longer make that.
So we're 0 for 3.
Yeah, 0 for 3.
Okay, well, it's a good way to say goodbye. Okay, rest well. Don't want you doing anything too strenuous. You'll be back with us on Monday. We look forward to that. More importantly, we look forward to a short week next week.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we're just being honest. Anyway, all of you have a good Thursday night. Root on those Bengals because I'm feeling a heater starting to happen. Thanks for being with us.
See y'all.